How's it going, everyone? Mask here, back with another Black Desert mobile video. Now today we're looking at the camp. We're going to be diving headfirst in and talking about all the strategies I've used to max my camp out, and really just things you should focus on. Your optimized path to max out, to make your camp more efficient, to get it earning you more free stuff. The camp is a really cool feature in this game where you basically have access to this passive economy that constantly works for you in the background, getting you free stuff all the time, completing tasks. You can also decorate your camp and move things around, build fences. Yeah. You have workers. That's where I'm going to start. Workers are the most important thing. So you have your workers that are going to complete tasks for you. Right now I have 7 coming back that just basically farm different materials for me that I need, that I'm going to use to further upgrade my camp. The different buildings in the camp I'll get to after we really talk about workers. Workers is where it starts. You want to always maximize the number of workers you have available. So this number right here says 16 out of 16. Let's lose some of the clutter on the screen. Perfect. So 16 out of 16. That means we currently have our max. We have 16 out of the 16 available workers to us. All of your focus that has to do with your camp should be aimed at increasing this worker number. How do you do that? There's 2 ways: upgrading your town hall and building new lodgings, or upgrading your existing lodgings. So if you look, I can't upgrade these because I require town hall tier 5. So if you can't upgrade your current lodgings and you can't build a new lodging, I can't build another one till town hall tier 5, then you should be going to your town hall. Let's upgrade my town hall. What do I need to do that? Oh, look, level 8 blacksmith. I have all the other requirements. So the entire time you're in your camp here, you're basically just constantly checking your town hall level, checking your lodgings. Can you build more lodgings? Can you level up those lodgings? If you can't, check the town hall out. Go to each one of these buildings, and it's nice now. They've updated it so that I just have to click on the name and it automatically takes me to that building. Here we are at the blacksmith. I'm going to hit upgrade. Okay, I need 8. These are the resources I need, and it lists the resources that I have on the left side. The chat box is covering it right now, but you can see it. It's behind my head. All the resources. So I still need 300 more wood, about 300 more rugged boulder, about 400 more light timber, and about 300 more sturdy timbers. So let's go over to gather. And a lot of people don't realize, and this is one that I've actually had surprisingly an amount of people say, wow, I did not even realize. You go into world gathering, you can go and select exactly which material you need. So you don't just have to farm the base material that automatically gets selected, because when you click it, it says rare finds and shows you the other options. So I've known people who have literally their entire game just constantly farmed this first node and then converted them into these rare ones, not realizing they could literally click on the left side here. The chat box is covering. Let me just hide that for just a second here. I love my chat box. Maybe we move it to the other side. No. Anyway, so yeah, boom, easy, just for 2. And then we got light timber, pale softwood, logs. When we said we needed about 800 logs. So you come here and look, 132. If I send 3 people to here, that'll give me enough logs to get that upgrade going. So, this worker was lazy, so we got to go discipline him. Basically just says, nope, you're going to go out and do that. We'll talk a little bit on how to prevent that from happening in a bit. So, rugged boulders, we go over to mining. These are 132 per. We needed 5. That's about 6, 7, 8, maybe 1 more just to make sure. That's going to be enough rugged boulders. Next thing we needed was the sturdy timber. We only possess 163 currently, and I do believe it was quite a bit that the blacksmith needed to upgrade. So 570. So we're at 163. I need 570. Need about 400. But I'm out of workers, as you can see. That's my last worker I have available. So when they finish that task, which is going to take them about 7.5 hours, then I'll be able to get them to go out on the last task I need to finish up and get the remaining resources. Upgrade blacksmith. Once that's done, we're going to be looking at the town hall, collecting these resources to get that town hall level 5. Obviously, you're going to start out at town hall level 1, and there'll be a bunch of these buildings that you don't have. But that's what I just described is the fundamental that you're going to be focusing on progression-wise to be absolutely the most optimal as possible. Another thing to look out for is your gardens. That's the next most important thing. And what you do in your gardens is grow crops that give you that increase this food here. So that right now I have 33,000 total food. That number increases with your food storage. Honestly, if you've played a game like Clash of Clans even, this is like a Clash of Clans base. Really, you want to level up everything eventually. But there's things you focus on first. But your gardens, you just build them. You don't have to level them up at all. You get seeds, you come in here, you harvest things. There's 400 food for all of these. You can see my total on the left side. And I've maxed out close to 33,000. What do we got left to plant? Sunflower seeds, paprika seeds. Oh, these are some premium. We'll plant these ones. So you plant crops, harvest them, get food, and food is a base currency that you're going to use everywhere in your camp at all times. All right, let's continue with the camp tutorial here and actually take a look at all the different buildings available in the camp, what they do, and what you should have the most focus on. So this is my camp currently. It's maxed out at Town Hall 5. So let's just start at one end and look at every single different building and what it does. So with our start with our Town Hall. From the Town Hall menu, you can expand your camp and make it bigger and bigger so you can fit more things in it. So I've expanded mine to the max size now. The walls kind of upgrade. They look really nice. And it gives me more space to sort of decorate. So I've used the Halloween decorations that we got at the Halloween event, and I've set them up. We got some fencing, some trees. It's quite nice. You can run through some archways. Now, other thing with the Town Hall is every day you can collect your camp funds. So I get 20,000 silver every day, once a day. Truthfully, it's not a lot of silver, but it adds up if you collect it every day for quite a long period of time. Now, moving on from the Town Hall, let's just open up our camp content menu here and let it sort of guide us for a while. So the ranch. The ranch is a building you build that you can put farm animals in. You buy the farm animals from any town, from the livestock manager at any town. So let's head over to, this is loading a tad slower than I thought it would. Let's head to the nearest town, so it'll be Velia for me. And we're going to go to Whale. Whale's the livestock manager. He's going to have the picture of like a cow's head when you scroll through the list of NPCs at the top left. You get to that map list. So it's a really good way to find everyone you need to get to. We have the potion manager. This is the seed manager for in your camp for buying seeds and planting them in your garden. So that's there as well if you're looking for that. And sell my junk while I'm here. So Rit chicken, Rit sheep. This is for summoning or for placing chickens in your ranch and placing sheep. Now, chickens, you get to harvest 3 times a day because they only take 8 hours to harvest. And they drop eggs, which give you food, and as well have a good chance of dropping golden eggs. Golden eggs sell for 200,000 silver each. Now, you tend to make more silver off chickens because you're getting a lot more golden eggs doing so many harvests. And chickens also only take up 1 spot instead of 2 like sheep do. Sheep, though, have a small chance at dropping golden wool, which is worth 500,000 silver each. But you harvest sheep on average once a day. It's 20 hours, but let's be honest, usually you slip up for those 4 hours and you don't ever really get 2 sheep harvests in on one day. You harvest sheep once a day and chickens 3 times a day. So, and sheep take up 2 spaces. So in my fully leveled up ranch, I only have 10 sheep. I would have 20 chickens and the same space, and I get to harvest them a total of 60 times in one day versus only 10 harvests for the sheep. So although the specialty drop of the sheep's worth way more, you end up making more silver on the chickens, but you actually get way more food from the sheep. So the sheep's milk, which is what you harvest from them, gives 675 food each, and the chicken only gives 77. And even when you multiply this by 2 to accompany the smaller grid size, that's only 144, and you multiply that by 3 to accompany the 3 harvests in a day, that's still not more than the 1 harvest of 675 that this sheep gives. So more food from the sheep, more silver from the chicken. You kind of balance it out. I currently have sheep because I'm trying to stockpile food, but truthfully, I have no real reason to. I'm just assuming in the future I'm going to need the food. And silver you kind of get from every other part of the game. So that's why I've been focusing my ranch on sheep. But this is where you get them. You buy these little pieces of paper. Let's call them, they look like ownership papers. And then you go back to your ranch and you actually deposit them into your ranch. So you're going to go over to the ranch, manage, place livestock. We currently don't have any writs and also no space, so there's no reason for us to actually pay any attention there. And this ranch is level 10. That is impressive. Level 10 blacksmith. Oh, this is my maxed out base, of course. So, sheep harvest once every 20 hours, so obviously mine are not ready. And if I were to collect them, there's a chance they would drop the golden wool. Let's see if I have. I don't think I have any as well in my inventory because I've sold them all out, so don't worry about them. Next up, let's keep going up the camp content list. Camp funds, we've gotten those. The refinery. So the refinery is a building that you build, and it will passively produce blackstones for you at all times. And you use blackstones to enhance your armor and your weapons. So it's really important to always keep checking on your refinery and not letting it fill up, because then it stops producing you these stones passively, which are really they're worth a lot. They are and they're your progress in the game. They're going to allow you to enhance your weapon and your armor and get stronger, increase your CP. So that's a really important building to stay on top of. Figure out what your time frame is for your refinery to fill up, and visit it slightly less than that as often as you can. So that's Blackstones. Ancient Ruins. This building's actually completely useless because you're going to access Ancient Ruins through this click here and right here behind my head. Ruins. This is how you're going to get to this menu always. Like, you're not going to go to your camp, then click here just to get here. That's nonsense. So it doesn't upgrade. It's just there. It's just a... Put it somewhere. It's cool. You can decorate with it, really. Boss rush missions is exactly the same thing. It's just this totem pole, but you just use it to get to this menu, which you're going to do this way for your entire existence playing this game. Top 3 buttons are the menu button at the top right, the boss rush click, which is right here behind my head. That's how you're going to get here. So, not a useful building in your camp. Node manager. The node manager is fantastic. The trading post, this is where you're going to go in. I'm level 1790. We're getting close. You send workers in here, and they're going to passively earn you tons of free stuff. When they're occupying nodes, they get you silver, and then they can complete tasks on those nodes, and the tasks will tell you what item you're going to complete and how often you earn an item over time. And everything you do inside your node manager or inside the node gives you node manager experience, which will progress you through these levels and let you occupy more nodes and send more workers in to get more free stuff, more items, more experience. It's like compounding snowball type situation. I'll go a lot more into depth on the node manager in a separate camp video, because this one's getting a little long, I think. Camp content. I'm just so passionate about my camp. I love it. It's like this huge passive economy that I've played the camp game more than the real game, I think, since the beginning. And anyone in my guild will vouch for that 100%. So next up on my list, let's just start going through the building. So the lodging, they're one of your main focus. The higher level lodging, the more workers. So this lodging currently gives me 3 max workers. So I'm getting 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 workers from the lodgings, and the town hall is giving me 10. So there's where my 25 are coming from. Upgrade your town hall, build more lodgings, upgrade your lodgings. Those are always your main focus in the camp, because the more workers you have, the more passive free stuff is being farmed for you. Free tons and tons of stuff. And from your resources you get from this camp, you can do so much. And you're going to see that in just a second. So food storage, very plain, simple building. You upgrade it, your food storage increases. My max is currently 50,000. You can't quite see it hidden behind the chat. Not important though. The alchemy lab is a very, very important building. You can craft potions from here, which aren't really that important. Honestly, I've never crafted a single potion aside from doing it for a quest. But what you do craft here is crystals. So the supreme crystal chest. This, I craft this as often as possible. And now that my camp's maxed, I'm actually farming the resources for this chest almost all the time. Literally spending all my focus, all my work, I have 15 gathering workers and 10 workers currently in the node. So all 15 of my gathering workers are constantly getting me the materials for this, because crystals are CP. Crystals go in your gear. They power up your gear. I currently have attack speed, AP, we got 8 attack damage. These are stats that directly affect your character, make you stronger, and this is the best, most efficient way to get crystals in the game. And you need a ton of them, because trying to upgrade them from blue to purple to yellow takes tons of the previous tier, and you fail a lot. So I'm constantly trying to get this or get this crystal chest on farm, more and more of them. So that's why it really helps to focus on leveling up your alchemy lab early in the game. So I always focus town hall, lodging, and then alchemy lab and refinery are pretty close right after there. The rest you can level up much slower, leave till the end. But the faster you get that alchemy lab maxed out, the quicker you're going to be able to make this supreme crystal chest and really start pushing your character's CP higher, because crystals can add a ton of power. Now the dye workshop, one of the biggest uses for the dye workshop is maxing out your collection. So your collection, as you just saw me go top right over to collection, is sort of this spot here that you just, by acquiring one of most of the items in the game and adding them to your collection, this button here will normally say auto add, and any items in your inventory that can be added to your collection will. And basically, by completing these collections, you get a lot of stats. I think there's about 60 to 65 combat power available throughout your collection. 2 defense, 2 defense, 2 defense, 3 attack, 20 worker vitality, which is awesome, makes your gathering better. 20 defense, or 2 defense, 3 defense, and a completion reward of 10 attack. There's 2 of those categories. You will literally click on them, click go do it. Your character's going to open up the dye workshop and start crafting these little things to complete the collection. The other interesting things in here are standard palette chests. So these allow you to change the colors of all of the costumes in the game. So if you don't like what color your costume is, you can change it, which is really cool. This game has I would say this game has the most in-depth character customization I've ever seen. You can make your character look like anything. I know people who have spent multiple days creating their character because it's just so in-depth that they could not make up their mind. And they really, really open up the possibilities by letting you dye these costumes whatever color you want. All the costumes in the game, hit them as hard as you want with the dyes. And that's really palettes, craft palette, craft outfit. So the outfits is the other thing that's really important. This is arguably one of the freemium items in the game, where you can buy these with cash job currency, but hey, you actually, and it's really neat to see a game do this. Normally costumes are something that are behind a paywall. You can farm up tons and tons of resources and craft costumes, both bodies and weapons for yourself. And then when you have multiples of these, you can combine them and try to get a specialty seasonal costume which has higher stats. But definitely try to craft yourself a body and a weapon. Now, I think you might get a outfit, which is the body, for free from the at least one of them for your first character from our pre-registration rewards. But you are going to need to craft yourself a weapon chest, which is worth like 10 combat power in total. So it's a good thing to look out for. Aside from that, the dye workshop doesn't see much use for me anyhow. Trade shop, I honestly haven't used this building at all, except for specifically crafting things to put in my collection. The second I was done that, I maxed my collection out. I got all the combat power available from the collection. I haven't been back here at all. Now you can craft this stuff and sell it to vendors, deliver goods and sell it to vendors and get silver and stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't jump in here. If I haven't done it, you shouldn't. Trust me. This camp is my life. The deco shop. Now, Here is one of your lowest priority buildings to upgrade. I think you only need it at level 2 or 3. And then once again, you can craft some things out of here that go in your collection, help complete that collection, get that bonus CP. But I will be back, decoration shop. Don't you worry. This is like later. I will be buying every single item in here at its max quantity and going absolutely crazy decorating my camp. It will happen. The camp's huge. There's so much open space here we can have a lot of fun with, and I love it in my camp. But all this space is going to be filled with stuff from the decoration shop. Just know that none of this affects your strength, your progress. So this is something I'm leaving. It'll be something I have fun with down the road. But the deco shop, 0 priority building for upgrading. Moving on to the blacksmith. Honestly, the blacksmith scales, I've heard of the blacksmith scaling better in later patches, but right now I've never touched it. I've never had a reason to craft myself anything. No armor, no weapons. You simply get them from drops. You get them from Shikado's gear shop. I got 1,300 coins. I can come in here and just spend these coins, which you get from many parts of the game, to get this gear. And I've never used the blacksmith. I only have it leveled up because it's constantly a requirement. Level 8 blacksmith is a requirement to get Town Hall tier 5. I've never went in and I've never crafted a single thing in there since. So I would leave it at 8 to get your Town Hall tier 5 and level it up basically last to 10. Storage, self-explanatory. I'm a hoarder. Without my storage, my character's inventories would be overflowing all the time. Upgrade your storage, you got more storage. The really cool thing is it's a character universal bank. So everything you put in here, you can access from all of your characters. So that's one thing to keep in mind. It's I don't know, there's a concept for it I've used in previous games, but it's a storage area that's accessible to all the characters on your account, so you can transfer items between characters by using your storage. I got mine maxed out, thankfully. I fill this thing up often throughout the day, just stuffing stuff in there. Your rush board, we talked about, it's useless. The extractor, this is sort of I messed up and I kind of want to undo something I messed up sort of building. I personally haven't used it once yet, but I have friends who have. One of the main things it's useful for is disassembling accessories. So accessories upgrade differently than every other item in this game. Now I can put this in here, and so it takes 4 Benshaw's necklaces, for example, to get one Benshaw's necklace to +3. Now getting an accessory to +3, you won't fail, which is cool. But I can use this, spend 21,000, and split my +3 necklace into 4 individual +0 necklaces, which is neat. It can make them easier to sell if you're trying to change which accessories you're using. You can also extract gear, which is a similar process, and extract blackstone. So if you have gear that has enhancements on it currently, you can use this and it'll take the blackstones out of that gear and reduce the enhancement. But realistically, when you enhance lower tiered gear, you never extract it when you're done. You simply go to your black spirit and you transfer the enhancement. Now I can click here and click here. Doesn't let you go backwards. That's actually smart. But if I had an orange bow, I could put the orange bow in here. The yellow bow goes at the bottom and it transfers the enhancement from the yellow bow onto the orange bow. So you never have to worry about investing in your gear at any point. Your investments are always going to be able to transfer forward with you. And that's where the extractor sort of comes into play. If you ever kind of enhance 2 pieces of gear and you kind of feel like you've messed up, hey, you can extract the blackstones. But if you're ever going to use this building, it's probably going to be to disassemble accessories. Moving on to the stable. This is simply where you house all your horses. You can catch horses in this game when you're taking them with you on your adventures. They level up. You can breed them, so I can breed together these 2 tier 1 horses. Pick my appearance of the tier 2 horse, and boom, now I put them together. It's 100% success rate, and now I have a tier 2 horse. I can level up the tier 2 horse, combine it with another tier 2, get a tier 3, so on and so forth. Tier 5 is the maximum in the game right now, and your horses have different skills. So you get all these increased stats from your horse, bond skills, and then the horse themselves have skills, and you can go through and see, I would really like a horse that has all of these, matching with these. I'll go into more depth in another video about catching horses and how all that works, but that's just a quick touch on what the stable has to offer here in your camp. We have our garden, obviously. I'm currently at 39,000 out of 50,000 food, so I can harvest a little bit. Always make sure you're replanting your food so it's there and you're never running out. And just like that, I've maxed my food out. I always keep my crops fully rotating. I try to never go run low on food. But I do believe that that is the last building we had to cover here in camp. Full walkthrough of everything you need to know about your camp. Now, if you're watching this video, I definitely gonna have another video that's specifically about the node and way more in depth about the workers themselves. So there's a lot. I have some min-maxing, let's call it, about my workers that I like to do. And the node is one of my favorite spots in the game. The node is like another mini game deeper inside this camp economy that you can get tons of silver and tons of free items that really help you progress your character. But there's a lot more to it. So we'll go into that in another video. So keep your eyes out for it. But that's going to do it for today's in-depth camp guide, let's call it. And I really hope you've learned a lot. There's a lot of things about the camp that people don't realize or they don't focus on enough, when really it just takes 2 to 3 minutes here and there. And if you stay on top of it, you're going to get this camp is going to do work for you. It's going to make you so much free stuff. Get it done right away. Invest in it early, and it's going to pay out for you longer and progress faster. Your workers are going to level up quicker. Love your camp. It's totally worth it. Thanks a lot for checking out this video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Whew. Until next time, smash that subscribe button and stay classy.